Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over all of my favorite newborn essentials. It can feel really daunting when trying to put your registry together because you're trying to think of every single item that you could possibly need. You're trying to anticipate what the baby's going to need, what you're going to need in a time that you maybe have never been through before if you're a first-time mom. So I wanted to consolidate everything that I used last time and love that we're going to use again into one video, and I'm going to link everything, keep it super simple for you, super easy, and I'll share certain features, certain things that we liked about it, certain functionalities to give you a better idea of what to put on your registry or just what you want to get for you and your baby. This is one of my favorite items, especially as like a common living space, living room item. This is a pack and play, but it's a certain variation that's really friendly for newborns and obviously toddlers as well. What I like most about it is that it has the bassinet and it has the changing table that's like completely a good material so that you can wipe everything off, clean it off easily. Bassinet has a little pad in it and it fits like the smaller bassinet sheets, and then I just put a little waterproof pad in between the pad that comes with it and then the bassinet sheets, or they're good to go. The other thing I like is that it comes with this side caddy, so this just hooks right to the side over here, and then this is where I put all the diapers, Desitin, Lanolin, like all the things I'm going to need on a daily basis, so that everything's all in one part of my living room for the newborn versus having stuff scattered everywhere, which it always ends up being scattered everywhere, let's be honest, but it just helps kind of keep everything a little bit more organized. And then mainly it helps because when I'm looking for stuff and I can't find it, I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna be over there. Another one of my favorite parts is that you can kind of use the underneath the bassinet and changing pad as storage. Okay, now if you are choosing to breastfeed and going down that route, I highly recommend the Elvie milk catcher. I think it has an actual name. I'm gonna link everything so you don't have to worry about what is that thing that she just said or what did she just talk about. But this stores up to 4 ounces of milk on the other breast that you're not breastfeeding with. What I like about this specifically is you just squeeze it just a little, put it on, it's right underneath your nursing bra, and then you can still nurse normally on the other side. But especially at the beginning, you might be getting like 2-3 ounces out of the other side. You can save all of that and keep it in the freezer for later, and it comes in handy later when you might just need a little extra. Other breastfeeding things, breast milk storage bags. You can really get any brand. These are just the Lancino brand. I can write on these the date and her name and whatever, and then travel with it as well. I also like that these store flat. So this is something I've seen on like Facebook groups too. People are like, how do you get your milk? How do you store your milk so well? Pour it into the bag while it's still liquid. You seal it and everything, and you lay it flat in your freezer, and then they start to stack up and you have all of your breast milk flat. It's much easier to store that way. Nursing bras are so important. You can really get any kind. This is one like without extra support. I like these because they come in a 6-pack, so I'll link these. And you just go through so many. Like I like to change mine once or twice a day. And you also have breast pads that go in between, and you can buy those separately. I'll link those as well. But they go in between where this unclips, comes down, so then you can nurse on either side, on both sides. And then I just stick the pads right on the inside of here. So when I pull it down, the pad's coming off with it. I have plenty of space for the baby to latch on. I really love these in my last pregnancy. I'm about to buy another pack. Okay, so this goes for any type of feeding, and I feel like people always want to argue if these are necessary or not. In my opinion, this changed my life. Like as a newborn mom last time with my first baby, this changed my life. This is a Dr. Brown sterilizer. You can get any brand. There's a lot of great brands out there that all do the same thing. But what I like about this is it fits at least 6 bottles, plus it fits all the bottle parts because there's a top compartment and the bottom. You'll see this part is the one that holds the bottles, and then this, you can do all the top parts of the bottles. And then all that you have to do is open up right here. There's a heating plate, and that's where you pour with a measured cup that's in here. Pour the water in, turn it on, it sterilizes everything for you. Now what I love about this one specifically, it is a sterilizer and a dryer. So that means that I'm still hand washing. I use those little scrubby brushes. I'm using some mild soap. I use the unscented Dawn dish soap, cleaning out all the bottles and the bottle parts, and then I put it, once I've rinsed everything out, I put it in here it sterilizes, it dries. Okay, that's the main part here. And then my bottles are completely ready to go. So if I run that once a day, I'm pretty much good. But when the bottles, and there's so many parts, if they're not drying, and then let's say you close them up, they mold or they smell and all that, and it just freaks me out. Yes, can you boil and do the same thing? Yes, and that's what I did the first month of being a newborn mom. Then it was taking so much time, like getting the water to the boil and then putting everything in and then doing the timer, and I'm trying to think of 15 other things at the same time. And then I pull it out, and then they're not even dry. Then I have to lay them out on a towel for like 2 hours so that they'll dry. So the sterilizer personally saved me a lot of time. Not that you absolutely require it, but I think for like 80, 90 bucks, it is gonna save so many hours of time and so much stress that I personally think it's worth it. Another newborn essential is obviously a bassinet. I would say not even a crib is essential because they don't really sleep in the crib the first couple months anyway. They obviously can if that's your choice, completely supportive of that and whatever you and your doctor decide on. But a bassinet I feel like is just kind of a given to have something as an option next to your bed for your baby to sleep in. Okay, so the reason we got this one is we do have a cat. So if you have pets, this might be something you want to look into. And specifically because it has this feature. So I can unbutton the sides of it right here. And then these sides come all the way up so that it's completely breathable and then it's completely protected. So one of my fears with my first baby was that the cat was gonna like get in there with her while I was asleep or something. That never happened. So not trying to give you any fears or anything. It never happened, but this gave me the peace of mind that I needed. And then it zips, there's a double zipper. So one on one side, one on the other. So you can zip it together in the middle. And so the first, I would say week or two, we definitely used this netting part because I was just too nervous. But then if you don't want the netting part, I can bring it down and button it down at the sides. It has a little pad that comes with it. That's where you'll put your bassinet sheets, and those are sold separately. And then if you want to put a waterproof pad in between this pad and the sheets, you can do that as well for extra protection. And then as you can see, there's a little basket underneath for storage, and that's where our cat is staying right now, getting ready for the baby. But the basket underneath is so convenient because that's where we'll store like extra bassinet sheets because we went through about 3 a day. That's where we'll store extra diapers, extra wipes, extra swaddles because we went through a ton of swaddles every day. So just convenient to have your storage and your bassinet all right next to your bed. Another newborn essential is a changing table and a diaper pail. So as you can see, I have both here. This is the diaper pail we got off Amazon. I love that the refills of the bags last forever and they're super cheap, affordable, and easy to install. We've been using this since Lucy was brand new and she's almost 2. And then this changing table I like because it came with the pad, and then I just bought the pad covers separate, which I got cute little designs and stuff. It just keeps things fun. And I like that it's not drawers, it's open. So I just bought these extra baskets. I have 4 baskets under here, and then I can organize based on like extra clothes, extra burp cloths, diapers and wipes, things like that. It just keeps everything organized. But then obviously there's the ease of use that I'm just like throwing something in a bucket. So it's not like I have to keep everything super organized. I'm just throwing it in a bucket, but then I know exactly where everything is. And we moved this one just out into our hallway because we're having baby number 2 in about 4 weeks. And so this way we can use it for our toddler's diaper changes until she transitions into potty training, and then we'll have it for the newborn as well. It's just a lot easier to keep them both on the same one. And it's so sturdy. I've never had any complaints about this, and I love that it comes in multiple colors. They're all just simple, and it's a very simple design that goes with anything. All right, so another essential that I love is the Evenflo Pivot Travel System. I looked at all these different travel systems. Some of them are like $2,000. I wanted something that was just gonna be safe. It was gonna be cute. I wanted some neutral colors, and I wanted it to mainly be versatile. I wanted it to carry our baby through newborn all the way to toddlerhood. And eventually I came across the Evenflo Pivot Travel System. We absolutely love it. I still use it. It comes with a toddler seat. So she's almost 2 now, but she still can use the toddler seat and the wheels. But it was perfect because it has like the infant carrier, and then you have the bases, the car seat bases to go in each car. And then we bought extra bases. So having 4 of those, I had 2 different babysitters, me, my husband. We could just click her in and click her out to any car. It was so much easier. She could nap in her car seat if she wanted to. It wouldn't ruin the whole day. And I love that it was so easy to transition from her wheels in a stroller setting into the car seat and back and forth. I didn't ever have issues with it. We loved it so much we're using it for our second baby too. So we've already installed the bases in our cars and we have his car seat already, and so now we just need to go have the baby. But what's nice too is I'll mainly be using those wheels with his infant seat with him, but also if I wanted to just take her somewhere by herself, I could just switch out the toddler seat super easily. Love something that's affordable and then has longevity too. And lastly, especially if you're breastfeeding, you will need a chair that is comfortable and that has a decent design that just keeps your posture healthy and allows you to sit in a position for extended periods of time. Where I messed up last time is I was like, oh, I don't need a chair. I'd originally had a chair on my list and I think I might have even added it to my registry, but then when we didn't get it, I was like, we're fine, it's fine, I'll just feed in bed or whatever. Well, I did that, and by week 5, I could barely move my neck. I had headaches that went all the way from the back to the front, and I started to have to go to physical therapy and get all kinds of help. I had to go to a myofascial release specialist. I was at appointments all the time just so that I could like move my neck again and not have a chronic headache. And as a trainer, I really should have thought about it in advance. I'm a corrective exercise specialist. I really should have thought about, okay, what is my positioning and my posture while I'm feeding, because I'm doing this 6 to 12 times a day. I really just didn't think about it. I was in new mom mode. I was in newborn bliss. In short, it really jacked me up. So to prevent that problem this time, I got a breastfeeding chair. I don't have it yet, or I would show you, but honestly, the route I took is I went to a bunch of different stores, tried a bunch of different recliners, tried different features, did all the things, found what would actually fit my body in person, ordered it, and it's going to be delivered here on Thursday. The one I ended up going with is electric, and it has a remote that comes out the side so that I can have actually 2 different settings. I can adjust the headrest, I can adjust the foot and then the back all separately, and then save that as a setting so that when I do have the baby and I sit down, I can just click my button and it'll take me to exactly where I need to go. But it's really important because we're all built differently, right? Like I need a certain height for my torso, certain height for my legs. Like I need to make sure that if I were to just sit back, that my head is supported. If it's not, I'm going to be straining. All of those muscles are going to get overworked. So I made sure to try like at least 50 recliners until I found the right one. The other option is buying off of Amazon. I know a lot of people who've bought off Amazon, or even sometimes your local Target might have a couple chairs you can sit in, so that's great too. My only problem with ordering online was that I couldn't try it out, and I just didn't want to spend, most of them were about $500 to $700. I didn't want to spend that much not knowing if I was going to love it. I know I could return it, but it just seemed like a lot of hassle. This way, I just went to a bunch of local furniture stores. I picked out the one that I wanted. I know it's exactly what I want, and they'll come deliver it for me and set it up in my house on the day. Hoping that's going to prevent a lot of pain and injury in my life in the future, and that I can just focus on being a newborn mom without worrying about going to doctor's appointments twice a week. Other ways to help with posture obviously is going to be how you position your elbows. So having pillows, things like that. Last time I had the Boppy was great. I think I still needed some extra pillows, but a lot of friends recommended the My Breast Friend. So this time around I have the My Breast Friend. I got a couple extra covers for it as well, but I like that it has a little spot. It has a strap and then it has a spot for you to like put a water bottle or something, I think, or items, and I'm like, I love that. So I'm excited to try that out in addition, but I will also have just extra pillows near my recliner in case that I need those to make sure I find the perfect way to sit. All right, so those are all of my newborn essentials. I hope that this really helped. I hope this gave you more insight. If you have any questions, just comment below and I'll respond to your questions as they come in. You can also DM me anytime on Instagram at It's Lisa Woodcock. I'm on there a lot more often. Definitely an Instagram girly. And I'll have everything linked for you on my LTK, anything that I mentioned in this video. So you can go directly to the page of the items and see what different colorways, what different options they have for each one of those. I hope this was helpful, and ultimately I hope that this was like such a short, concise video that helps you save hours of time on your registry and hours of time researching. And I know how it goes. I probably spent about 20 hours putting my first registry together. It felt really stressful and really daunting and took months But because I did all that extensive research, I was really happy to buy each of the things that we bought and receive each of the gifts that we got that I'd put on there. And I would say I did a decent job because I'm using them all again for the second baby, and a lot of those products still using with my toddler. So you know I'm not gonna steer you wrong. If one of your friends or loved ones are expecting, you can send this to them in hopes that it'll make their life just a little bit easier in this time. And if you're expecting a baby, I pray all the joy and peace and comfort and health for you and your baby. This is the best journey that you'll ever be on. I'm always in your corner. I'm always rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next video.